Hello everyone, welcome back on my YouTube channel. Let's meet positivity. Our today's guest is the multipreneur. Friends, do you know what is multipreneur means? It means an entrepreneur with multiple businesses. Yes, our today's guest is having two businesses, is managing two businesses. She's passionate about music. She's already Sangeet Prabhakar in Hindustani vocal classical music. Wow. So, all in all, she is multi-talented lady. Her vision is to add value to people's life in any way possible. Such a positive thought. Yes. So let's welcome Mrs. Aparna Kshirsagar. Aparna Kshirsagar. Aparna madam, thank you for joining on this YouTube channel. First of all, and that too in your busy schedule. I know I really understand what things are going on so far, and that too when it comes to multipreneurship, it's like awesome. And on top of it, Mrs. Aparna Kshirsagar as a home manager also actively participating everywhere, right? So being a home manager plus this multipreneurship, wow, that's really amazing. To start today's discussion, Aparna madam, I would, as I mentioned earlier about multipreneur, right? So it's like an entrepreneur who pursue interest in more than one or two businesses. So can you just throw some light on what all those businesses which you own, which you are a co-founder of?
Okay, so just to give a brief, I started my entrepreneurial journey in 2015 with the reunion of my schoolmates, and I met two of my schoolmates there. Major Priyanka was one of them, who is a retired army major and architect and a green building consultant. And there were many others, but then Jyoti Prakash was the other one. And Major Priyanka had worked in some green building consultation, and she had come across solar energy in those projects. And she thought that this would be a very booming industry in the forthcoming times. And it was her baby that she should start a venture on for solar power. And she was it was the time when it was all ripened in her mind of this venture, and that's how she approached us. She said nothing better than having your childhood friends, school friends as your partners. So whoever is interested, she asked me, she asked Jyoti Prakash. And for me it was a little surprise, because I am, as you said, I am a nutritionist by qualification, and I had no brush of solar energy till then, other than using the solar water heater that we had in our society rooftop. And so there was no connection, any technical connection for me till then. So it was a little challenging for me. But then she said, you have to think big, and you have to you should not have these inhibitions about doing anything. Nothing is impossible. So I thought, okay, let us give it a try. I got myself trained, I got certified, and I did some training programs, and that's how fully equipped me, Major Priyanka, and Jyoti Prakash, the three of us, we incorporated this company in December 2015 by the name VISOL Renewable Energy Solutions. So this is into solar power solutions, consultation and turnkey project for solar power plants more so, and other power solutions. And it happened that we were the three of us were almost eating, breathing, living solar, and the journey started, very interesting journey. And last year, around February, March, my husband, who has been in the courtroom industry, refrigeration industry for around 20 plus years now. So at various positions in various organizations, and he decided that it is about time that we start our own venture, and that's how I became a part of that venture. And this is into cold rooms, so we do consultation, we give supply, and turnkey projects also we do for cold rooms, commercial kitchen equipment, and refrigeration products. So that's how I am into these two ventures right now.
Wow, simply great. I mean, when I went through your profile, Aparna madam, I was little surprised to see that you have started your internship in Chennai, and then your last job was somewhere in Ludhiana, right?
Yeah.
So again, south to north, and my second question is based on that only. Even in that, when in the initial, first inning of your career, you were from Chennai to Ludhiana, South Pole to North Pole, and even in business also. Now, the first business you were talking about solar energy. It's all about like natural energy consumption, right? And from there you are actually now started with cold room. It's completely contrast. So what was your thought process behind this, a different contrast business processes?
Yes, actually, when I think of it, it surprises me a lot many a times how I could, think of managing something so extreme in nature. One is something which is related to generating energy, electricity for the good of the planet, and the other is related to, throwing off the extra heat energy so that the product, specifically food, is preserved through refrigeration. So there, the technologies are so completely contrast, and it was very interesting to be in these two boats and do your duties as per the requirement. But as I said, I was almost living solar from 2015 December till last year, and then we thought of starting this venture. Being a nutritionist, of course, there is a passion about food, quality of food, and how good food impacts a person's health, and how you can maintain your health with good food. So that was always there. And when this thought came up of starting this venture, so it was very appealing to me, because through good consultation, through good supply of good equipment, we could be one of the best support systems to our clients who are serving food to the end user. People like us, we go out, we dine, we order food at homes. So we are the end customers. So if I can be a good support system for refrigeration, for commercial kitchen equipment to these people who are preparing food, who are, who have the passion to serve to people, nothing better than that. Indirectly, I am impacting the whole consumers of the country. So that was really appealing to me, and that's how, as a challenge, I took up, and here we are, almost one and a half years down the line in the second venture as well.
Great, great, great. So, Aparna madam, as you just mentioned about this Frozculina Tech Services, right? The cold room business that you guys have started in last year, 2019, right? February or March. That's what you're saying. So within a 1 year, now you are facing, the big crisis in this market, right? We are talking about COVID-19 situation, and because of this COVID-19 impact, every single business has impacted, and mostly in food businesses also, even the restaurants and the travel tourism is also really impacted badly. So I was just little curious about that. When the initially lockdown has started, from there, to now where we are into unlock 3, typically when we say, right? What was your thought process? How, what exactly you have you have done for Frosculina, which is like not nothing stopped, nothing to worry about, but you are actually uh, you know uh, invested that time, right? Because when it comes to a multipreneur, when it comes to an entrepreneur also, right, normally the people first start thinking about how can I invest time or invest money. So what was your thought process behind this? How you face this entirely from the initial lockdown to unlock 3?
Yes, Swanan, really a very important question for all the people out there, especially entrepreneurs who, for every person out there, it was such a big a surprise, a shock, trauma initially, that something like this could happen. February, by mid-March, we were almost closing some one or two orders, which were a good ticket size, and some formalities. We had started processing the formalities for that orders, and we were like, okay, this will get closed by end of March or maybe by early April. And then suddenly Janta curfew on 22nd of March, and we were hearing about this corona by then, but then it could take a form of a pandemic. Nobody knew, and it could come down to India. Nobody knew, and such a unpredicted situation started happening in our country as well. And rightly, whatever decisions were taken, they were so right, because the people's lives were more important than business or other things. So the lockdown started, and the first lockdown we were like, okay, so let us do what all we generally don't do, because it was a break for us. So we treated it as a break. We were in a little, I would say, in that stage where you start introspecting what all has to be done, getting a break. So some re-strategizing processes were there. There were some backlogs which we started clearing off, and many more things which strategically we would not get time to do otherwise, or we would have to specifically sit down and do it in the busy schedule. So all that we did. But then when the first lockdown was over, again the authorities resumed the second one, and then henceforth it started recurring. So then we thought, this is not going to come down very soon. So this is going to last for a long time, and we cannot just sit back and relax, or we cannot crib about it. Now the time has gone when we can crib or discuss about it. Now we have to do something, and that's how we started going through our client list, and many things we started doing. And in that we realized that we cannot reach out to the people, to our prospects physically, but then we could take help of the digital platform. And that's how we made some ads, and we thought of conducting webinars. And like almost every entrepreneur who has taken up to webinars in this situation, we were also amongst one of them. And we took up these webinars, we thought of these webinars, and the whole idea was to just add value to the people who would be from our prospective list. So those people in the hospitality segment, in the pharma segment, these are the segments which we generally cater to. So food service, hospitality, again dairy, ice cream industry, agri products. So all those segments, we wanted to reach out to them, and that's how we started conducting a series of webinars, wherein the topics were like SOPs of operation of your refrigeration product, do's and don'ts for them. Then there was one webinar which we took for role of refrigeration in food preservation. Likewise, there were many more, and we did one webinar which was very, very specific to what exactly we would be offering to our clients in these days. So it was a webinar on food kiosk strategy for food service business. So that was more on what kind of consultation could be given, the four pillars of a food service sector, which is food itself, the kitchen, and the equipment part, and operations and maintenance. That is a food, K, E, and O stands for. So the food queue strategy we discussed, and we were getting very good response from the clients, from the attendees of the webinar. And then we formed a WhatsApp group, and we have formed a community of these people who have the same kind of interests, and they are from the same backgrounds, like food service specifically. And we exchange good thoughts there. We exchange the latest trends that are happening, some facts that they need to know, and some knowledge sharing happens. So that's how we are keeping in touch with our clients, new people. We are trying to address their issues. So these people in the WhatsApp group, that community, they contact us personally, and whatever issues they have, they'll consult us. If they are starting up something, they are consulting us. So I think things started moving when we started approaching people. So people need us, but then we should know that we have to reach out to them. So that is the whole idea, and digital platform played a very important role for us. So there was no stagnancy. I think after since the second lockdown started, we were damn busy, almost like we were hopping from one client meeting to the other. It was almost like that.
Wow.
So it was never grim for us.
First of all, I'm really glad that you started your digital presence. I'm from
Yes,
IT background, and I feel I have a soft corner towards it. It's good that
yes,
everyone should actually come on digital and uh, start getting help from all the digital devices, all the digital platforms. So that's really good. Aparna madam, now you were talking about food, you were talking about webinars and a lot of other stuff, right? So I have seen that, rather I have observed that there are a lot of people who lost their job, or maybe those people who are like their business has impacted badly. So those people, instead of just as they are at home, they started their some or the other, maybe a the food, I will not say a food industry as such, but they start something like preparing food, and they started selling it off, not restaurants as there, but home delivery food services they have started and all that. If they want to do some strategically, they want to go ahead, they want to move ahead, they want to grow, do you have such any such offerings for them, or anything which will help them to reach out to you and to grow?
yes, definitely. In fact, we are doing B2B, but we are also doing B2C, because in a little mid-level or small level also people need services, and very big organizations might not prefer to serve such a segment of clients. So these people need more of hand holding, because they might not have the knowledge or the experience of it. So definitely B2C has been, especially for me, it has been a soft corner, because you can see the direct impact on what you are giving to them, the value that you are giving to them. First thing, in this whole pandemic situation, the most badly affected sector was the food sector, because almost all the hotels, all restaurants were all closed. But then the only segment which was running alive still was the food sector, if you notice.
Yes.
So maybe people were doing their duties from home. People were preparing food from home and serving it to people who were needy. But even though the organizations could not run, people at their homes, food is a comfort. It is known as comfort for people who are depressed, or when there are low times. So food becomes your comforter. So at homes, homemakers were making the best kinds of food to elevate your mood and be in the good spirits. So similarly, many people in these times, as you said rightly, there were a lot of layoffs. There was a lot of, there is still rather a lot of job insecurity. Many people are on the verge of losing their jobs. So just to have food on their plate daily at the table, many of them started something related to food. And as I said, we are doing B2B, we are doing B2C. Uh, but something like this came to our knowledge during these webinars, because as we were getting connected to the our community people, they came to us, and they said like, we have started something like this. We are doing some homemade things which we are good at, and there is demand for it. They started from their residential societies, and then through and through they are getting, by word of mouth, they are getting more orders. So how can you help us in this? So definitely there is a lot of support that we can give them. For example, this was something related to the regular food that I talked about. So many pori bhaji kendra people, they could not go to their outlet and prepare food. So many people, they were calling their cooks at home, and within the restrictions of their home kitchen, they were trying to cater, because many people are still dependent on them. So they were doing the delivery. So likewise, even home bakers. So a very typical example I would take here, because I saw a beautiful rise in their demand during this pandemic. As I said, food is the best comforter in bad times. Celebrations are another one. So people need to celebrate, even if there is corona outside. Home is where you can still celebrate and be safe. So people were celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, some good successes. So nowadays, cake is the only food item which is required for a good celebration. Wives, mothers, they prepare something, some delicacy, but then cake is one thing which is required. So there was a lot of demand for cakes in this situation as well. The cake shops, the sweet shops were all closed because of the lockdown, but then still the demand was all met, and met by these ladies who were baking at the comfort of their homes. Otherwise, also they were baking, but then they were fulfilling the multiple demands that were faced. So we were getting calls from such people, like, I have a multifold demand now. So how do I do it? My equipment is not um, sufficient to give me this kind of production. So we definitely gave them consultation of what kind of equipment they should, take up. And at home also they can keep that equipment. It will increase their production in the same time period to 4 times, 5 times, according to the kind of product they are making, and that will ease their load and stress of giving things in time, giving the product in time. So such kind of consultations definitely we did. There was a lot of service issue. So some major organizations, we got a call from a client who had a major conk off in their machines. So we connected to them through phone. We asked their technical person to be on phone, and through phone, because they were not in Mumbai, it was a remote place. So we could not send our service people there. It was out of question in lockdown. So we resolved the technical issue on phone with that technical, their facility technical manager, and their code room started up. So this kind of hand-holding, this kind of consultation and supply, we have been doing and we intend to do. So anybody who is starting to, who is thinking of starting something from the comfort of their home, they can definitely think of us for consultation, for any kind of support they need, equipment wise or consultation strategy wise, because there are a lot of nitty gritties involved, which when you start you might not have knowledge of. But then being in this industry, we might be of some help to you in telling you of these guidelines that you need to follow when you start, so that you are damn successful in what you are doing.
My last question, Aparna, I'll not take much of your time, but it's very, very important for our viewers, right? See, we many times we mention about this entire pandemic situation and a lot of negativity spread across. However, I know, that not only negativity, but there is a positivity as well. And when it in terms of opportunities, in terms of recruitment, there are companies who are recruiting, right? There are companies who are offering very good opportunities. So from that angle, when it comes to VISOL or when it comes to Frozculina, you're both ventures, you know are there any opportunities for our viewers who are looking forward to start their business, or maybe who are looking for a job? So if you have certain kind of plan for a recruitment also, so what kind of skills on that front, if you can throw some light, that will be really great for our viewers.
Sure. So we have seen very extremes in this pandemic situation in terms of HR in organizations. So there have been some organizations which are laying off, and there have been some organizations which have started hiring. So complete extremes, but then I hope that balances out, and no one is affected of this pandemic. So when this lockdown started, I would first talk of VISOL, my first venture, solar venture. So when the lockdown started, at VISOL, we started getting calls from people, from remote places, not specifically only Mumbai or only metro cities, from tier 2, tier 3 cities also, about some career opportunities in solar, or they would get our details from, our digital presence, and they would check on us if we have some career opportunities. So when such calls started getting repeated and frequency of these calls, increased, so that gave us an idea. We realized that many people are getting laid off, and many people are thinking of some alternative or some parallel source of income in these tough times, in the thought of insecurity of their present job. So we thought, why not give them some glimpse of the career opportunities that people could have in the solar sector, because we started afresh without any backgrounds, and here we are almost 4.5 5 years. So there's nothing impossible. You have to just explore, and if you are getting held by some people who are already there in the industry doing it, so it becomes easier. So we thought of conducting webinars for showing the glimpses of what kind of career opportunities people can have in the solar sector, because in India solar is just booming uh, as of now. So there is a lot of scope in solar. How much ever people do, it will be still less because the targets are very high. There's lots of work to be done, and how many ever people come into this, there will be less. So we need more people in the mission to accomplish the solar targets of India. So we conducted these webinars. We got very good responses, very good attendance, and post that. We were constantly getting calls from people about how you can take this ahead. We are interested, and we conducted quite a series of webinars there as well. And we offered those people, because then the next step the people were asking us for. So we offered them two kind of career opportunities in solar in association with VISOL. So one is the VGEP sales, that is VISOL Green Energy Partner sales program, wherein a person, say you are in some city, say Nasik, and you have good connects in your circle of industries, of industrialists, of residential, presidents, secretaries, and other people, even colleges, schools, so who can think of putting up solar. So if you approach us, we could give you that. You don't have any technical knowledge of solar as such. You are in the IT sector. You have least knowledge about solar. So if you approach us, we could offer you some program like this, VGEP sales, wherein you will bring us the leads or the inquiries, or you will connect us to the people who are interested to go for power plants, and then we would take it on as a company, as a turnkey project. We will do the whole project, and you will be given the commission for it. And there is another part, which is VGEP projects, which is VISOL Green Energy Partners projects. Here you will be needed to have some technical knowledge. So we conducted trainings also for technical and sales aspect. So these people got themselves trained, and they came to know about what all aspects they need to know, a little more knowledge about solar, technical, sales, everything. And with that all equipped together, they are in the market now, and they will be bringing the leads, they will be doing the initial surveys, and we would be doing all the back-end technical support that is required, which they might not know of. So all that will be taken care by us, and at the time of closing, if they can close, it's well enough, or else we will be there with them to close the order. So that is the kind of support VISOL will be giving to both kinds of partnerships. So this was about VISOL as a solar venture that we started up, and there is a very good response. People are calling up from God knows what all places, and they are still we are still getting calls and inquiries for such collaborations. So I think with this, VISOL would be making India all the more Atmanirbhar, and Saur Urja would be one of the source of Atmanirbharta, we feel. So that was for VISOL, and for Frozculina, as I said, we are there to handle people, whoever is in the thought process of starting up something. We would be really happy to help them out in terms of strategizing, in terms of consultation of how the kitchen should be, in terms of what kind of menu they can have, in terms of what kind of strategy they need to maintain, even what kind of, in these times, they need to know what kind of aggregators they get to associate with, because your delivery cannot go, your delivery person cannot reach out every place. But then aggregators like Swiggy, Zomato are there, and they're offering their best services in these tough times. So you can take help of them. So we will help such people associate with such organizations, such backup, and they can start their business. And anybody who is trying to expand also, once the pandemic gets over, we would be there to help them expand their business in terms of consultation again, in terms of equipment, expansion of their refrigeration, whatever help is needed in refrigeration and kitchen equipment, it is always there. Also, as Frozculina, we are hiring, and it is for the post of assistant sales manager. So we are looking out for somebody who has the background of engineering or diploma IT, and if 1 or 2 years of experience in engineering or the purchase department of some hospitality industry like hotels or other resorts and all, if they have that, that becomes an additional advantage. So that is what we can offer, and we can, if anybody is interested, can connect to us. So that
Okay.
is what we can offer through Prosperina.
Okay, so Aparna madam, if I just cut short it, it's like you mentioned about opportunities in VISOL as well, even in Frozculina as well, right?
Yes.
Awesome. On this note, Aparna madam, let's conclude today's meeting. First of all, thank you so much to come on this YouTube channel. And the main objective of this channel was like to to spread the positivity, right? And there are there are a lot of ways to spread the positivity, but one of the very important part is like the people should be aware of that there are positive sides, there are opportunities in the market, there are there are companies who are offering very good kind of to generate a side income to take care of their liabilities and all that, which will help the people to survive in 2020, right? And as you mentioned, not only B2B, but you're concentrating on B2C as well. You're taking webinars, you're doing consultation. That's really, really awesome to know. And I'm sure the people who will watch this video, definitely they will get some or the other help if they're interested in food industry as well. And I know that VISOL and Frozculina both are having a social presence as well. So definitely people will start bothering you so much about the about what to do and what to do next, what should be the next step and all that. So thanks for all this information. Thanks for helping me also to spread the positivity. Thank you, Aparna ma'am. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Sanand. And this too shall pass for all the viewers. And all the best to you, Swanan. You are doing a very good job by spreading this positivity. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Aparna madam. Bye bye. Take care.